This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian.
Mission 250.
Hey, welcome to the Mission 250 Filmcast, where we watch the best movies ever made according to IMDb half the time at this point. Sometimes we watch movies that are relevant in the movie world and have high ratings on IMDb itself. This week we're watching a movie that I think 2 weeks ago at this point won Best Picture and Best Director at the Golden Globes. Chloe Zhao is the director of this movie. Nomadland 2020. After losing everything in the Great Recession, a woman embarks on a journey through the American West, living as a van-dwelling modern-day nomad. And with me here, hey John, hey TC, how you guys doing?
Hey,
how you holding up these days, huh?
doing well.
Yeah,
Doing all right.
that's good.
Yeah, doing great.
Yeah. I was sick. Kid got sick. Now Nikki's sick. Everybody's sick.
Yeah, apparently you can still get regular sick.
Yeah, it's not COVID sick.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's true. It's almost like it's who gives a shit anymore. Oh, you're sick? No one cares, dude.
Or
You're
at least it's
dead.
not detected. I mean,
Yeah.
have you guys had the up the nose COVID test yet?
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a good time.
It's not
Ooh,
bad.
man,
It's not too bad. Everyone's
it's
complaining.
bad.
It's not
It's
bad,
not that
John.
bad.
It's pretty bad.
Nah, I've picked my nose deeper than that. Come on now, John.
Yeah, it's like,
And my finger's
maybe,
quite wider than a Q-tip, I can tell you.
maybe I don't do enough with my nose in the privacy of my own home to really be used to it. My eyes are just like streaming. I was like, it is pretty
Oh,
bad.
wow. Is that bad?
I
my eyes
really-
watered
I
a
had it
little
a
bit.
couple
but-
times. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Did you get the
Yeah.
the rapid one or the accurate one?
Which one's the? I don't know. They did like a.
Did it
so
take
many
15 minutes
seconds
to get
in-
results, or did it take 4 days?
Oh no, it takes like a day here.
A day?
So, yeah.
I don't even know which
Yeah.
one that is. We don't have that here.
I live in the same place as a highly evolved medical institution. So they've got their own labs and stuff. So they,
Very, very true.
Better than
Yeah.
you, Denny.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stick in it.
Yeah.
So speaking of being in places, transition, John, it's your turn
Interesting.
to
Well,
I couldn't
Or
think of
not
anything
being
else.
in a place.
Or not being in places.
Nomadland.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad I watched this. I don't know. There's not really spoilers here. It's not like the plot is a giveaway, but I also it's kind of cool to go into this not knowing anything about the film. So I don't know. It was just kind of nice to watch it and sort of realize what it was about and what was going on, because I had like no idea other than that Francis McDormand was in it, and I love her. She's wonderful. So I really, really liked how this film seemed very like nuanced. You could like go into like just feeling sorry for these people, or you could go in and like villainizing Amazon and all, and like there's any number
I
of
was
ways
afraid
this is
that's what
gonna
the
go.
movie was going to be about it
Yeah?
when it started.
I know. And it started, I was like, ooh, boy.
I was like, oh no.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna
Yeah, I know, right? And there's lots of reasons to do that. I mean, if you look into what Amazon's doing with labor force, but whatever, the film was much more. It was more like human and nuanced than that. It wasn't trying to like go after. In a way, it's like that would be easy. It lets you draw your own conclusions, and it showed the working conditions, but it didn't like harp on it. It showed the suffering of the people, but it didn't harp on that either. And I just loved how it still was inspirational. It still showed like, and what I loved is like most of these people were the actual people that were in the book. Francis McDormand's like the exception. So
There's
like,
one other exception. There are two actors in this movie.
Yeah, the guy, the lead, right?
The older, or I mean, the boyfriend.
And I
character.
even think like people like, I don't know, people have criticized that, saying, "Oh, you should really focus on." But I actually just
Wait,
how it
focus
all
on
worked.
what? What are they criticizing?
Just the real people. Like maybe the whole movie should have been about the real people.
Oh, okay.
Like you should have just focused on Liz, right, or something like that. But I actually liked how this all worked. I thought it told this very wonderful cinematic story, and Frances McDormand is just amazing. I thought she was so. Wow, she just shows so much expressions by being quiet, and she's just quiet. You're just watching her in a lot of the film, and I think that's it's not like she's getting like gored by a bear or anything. She's just Leo. She's just sitting there experiencing things, and you watch her eyes and expressions, and I just think it's so well done. She's amazing. She's just, I don't know. I think she's just, to do that, to play that kind of role is pretty amazing. I don't think that's something you do very easily.
To show up and stand?
Yeah.
Right, or you
sorry.
just argue that
You
she's
sit in a
there.
chair like the
Yeah.
best of them, Francis.
Sitting.
Like the best of them.
Get your eyes to water a little. No, I know.
Could you
I thought
smirk, but not smirk? But
I
look away.
liked it. Yeah, right. But I liked it. I was just enjoyed it. I would have loved to see this in the theater because of all the scenery. I think that would have probably been impactful because there's a lot of really, really good American scenery in the film. And I really come away like really being impressed with the tone of the movie, that it was really nuanced and it was about all of these things and the working conditions of these people and their lives and them trying to find meaning. But at the end, too, about the main character wanting to have her own life and wanting to be detached from everything, even where she had this opportunity where this wonderful guy and she could be part of the family and her choosing that, no, she wants to go her own way because she hasn't done that for most of her life, I thought was really impressive. And Nikki and I, who watched it with me, sat and talked about that for a while in terms of like, being a woman and feeling like you're supposed to do things. You're supposed to go along with your husband or whatever your husband's job is. And, not that I've had my own career is the opposite situation, but I just really appreciated it. I don't know. The whole tone of the film was really interesting in that it just, that they were real people and you got to get to know them too along the way. So it did like so many things and it didn't beat you over the head with any of it. And I really appreciated that. So, yeah. So I really enjoyed it. I mean, I don't have a lot to say about it. I just was very.
How could you?
I haven't seen.
There's nothing happens in this movie.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen anything like this.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Where's the action? Where's the murder?
Where's the bear mauling?
I feel like we watched the fucking female version of Into the Wild and we didn't have Eddie Vedder to give us a soundtrack.
Oh, I liked Into the Wild too. Damn you!
That was
also
what I'm saying.
good.
It was hard. How do you watch this movie? I'm going negative on this.
Oh no!
I mean,
that's all right.
I'm sorry, Johnny. You done?
You go. Go negative.
I'm not like, I fucking hated it. It was just like I got to the end of it. I was like, this is Into the Wild, but a different version with like 4K scenery shots.
But you liked Into the Wild.
That's what I'm saying. I already seen the movie. We get it.
But he didn't have Eddie
people
Vedder.
don't like to be.
He had
Eddie Vedder in it.
piano.
I'm biased towards Eddie Vedder. That's all it is.
Yeah, the piano that sounded like pop songs I couldn't recognize, but I don't know what. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess the storyline, it just doesn't hit home for me, right? I'm a dude that always does whatever the fuck he wants. It's, part of my problem.
Now, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Of course
right.
you
So
leave.
I have don't relate, and then for one, and
what
then
are you
two,
worried about? You go.
Yeah,
You just go.
and,
You want to go? You go.
And I'm sorry. I was sitting there watching. I'm like, who the fuck would turn away life from being somewhat uncomfortable but comfortable? And to that shit. So for me, I was like, I would never do this. So it just doesn't ring true. But honestly, it was just big wide shots and then close up of a face. Big wide shots, close up of a face. Big wide shots. Now we get to hear this fucking junkie talk. Big wide shot. And now we got to go talk to this fucking idiot. And it was like that. I mean, that was the whole, for me, that was the whole friggin' movie. I could sum up this movie in I don't know, under 10 words. It'd be woman has diarrhea on a bucket, sits outside.
That's like 70 of your words, dude. You used up most of your words for that.
You're already done. You're moving
That's
on.
it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Right? Diarrhea. Woman has diarrhea in a bucket.
Big wide
sits
shots.
Outside.
That's 10. Big
Sits
wide
outside.
shots.
That's it. Yeah.
What I just feel this film was so subtly done, and the use of non-actors, and it didn't feel like they were non-actors. I think that is insanely impressive.
I thought that dialogue
they're
between
interlinked.
her and this guy smoking a cigarette was so forced, and then she goes into a fucking poem that she memorized 20 years ago for
I
her wedding
liked
vows.
it.
What
I don't
the
know.
fuck
I was-
is
I
that?
was
I'm like,
already-
get the fuck out of here. This is so ridiculous.
I thought it was beautiful.
John, I'm on your side if that helps you any.
Yeah, that's good. It does help me a little bit. Goddamn TC here.
Man. I mean, I don't know. It just
If it doesn't get you, but I was like, once I was along for the ride, I really loved it. I really love. I know I can understand if you're not into it, if you're stepping outside of it, but it was this amazing combination of these real people and cinematic, and it was still a movie, and yet it had the real people in it, and I think that's really hard to play. I think of what was the movie we saw with Clint Eastwood where he had non-actors, and it was painfully obvious
Gran
that they were
Torino?
first time. Yeah, painfully obvious that they were first time actors everywhere. And this just seems so, I don't know.
What's this?
because there's nothing to do in this
Maybe,
movie.
maybe.
What
Just
this
sit
seem like
around.
to me? So, John, you're saying that they're forced to act. So in Gran
No, not
Torino,
forced to
Clint
act.
Eastwood,
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood, they're given lines and they're being directed
Right,
by
right,
Clint,
right.
who I don't know. I don't know if he's a good director. He might have just
You're right.
fallen
Say it
into
like this.
Yeah,
No,
but these guys
right,
are.
they're not acting. They're just talking about themselves and their life story. So they're not
Right.
having to act. But they are acting in scenarios with the main character, which are new, and it's done very well. Where they're interacting with Francis's character. It just is really smooth. It does not seem awkward or weird that they're
I think
like talking to each other.
I don't know. I think that the real people portion, the nomads in this movie, it feels like a documentary when they're talking, and I like that. And when I love Francis McDormand too, and I don't think I can think of another person that could have done this better. I don't think it needed to be her, but she did a fine enough job for what she was going for. Yeah. I could tell that she was an actor in this movie, and everybody else wasn't an actor, and it worked pretty well. Like, she was kind of the if this movie was to the movie Meet the Parents, like, Ben Stiller isn't funny in Meet the Parents, but he's in there and he holds the whole thing together, right? Like, he gives it context. He gives reason for all the other people to do their thing.
I do not.
That's what you're going with?
I'm going with that. I do not want to have any detailed discussion of that movie at all. I do not want to critique of who was funny.
Don't you remember that movie, John? Come on.
Yeah, right. This movie reminds me of Meet the Fuckers.
I remember
that one?
I remember that there was that movie, and that was about it.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. It was like popular for a time, but I have no desire to revisit that movie.
Well, that's my metaphor, John. So fucking live with it, right? I can't think of anything else.
Dislike your metaphor. Noted. Moving on.
Hey, the two people that are positive about the movie is certainly bickering.
Yeah, we're certainly bickering.
Right.
But so I thought that there was a huge disconnect between the parts that I liked, like with Frances McDormand in it. I didn't care about her little plot there. I thought it was fine, but if it was just that, I would have already forgotten what this movie was about. Literally. It's been like a week and change since we watched it. Her parts were just like typical sad indie stuff with beautiful sceneries. But to me, the thing that really sticks out to this movie is the real actors and their stories. And there were like 4 times in this movie where like I couldn't talk for like a scene afterwards, because if I did, I would start like blubbering or something. Like, it brought me close to tears. That scene where the guy's describing his dead son. But
it's the end.
That was
the
good.
only time I got welled up. I got welled up bad on that one, real bad.
Yeah. Okay, good. So you did.
It was so good.
It was so good.
In the way he said it was good. But I'm I'm like, that's the end of the movie. I was expecting like another fucking 45 minutes of scenic shots. I mean, she walks off the thing. I'm like, what is this?
I just love this attempt to interleave it the way it was done, and I think it was done very well. And
I don't think it could have
easily been.
It couldn't have been done any other way, because if they just had these non-actors, it would just have been a documentary.
It just seemed like they didn't have a story, and they just shot a bunch of shit, and then they were like, "Let's edit it this way."
Yeah. Slice of life, slice of life.
I think it was like they were trying to get it. They were trying to make you expect a story, and then you didn't.
Maybe.
So if you were expecting a story, and then you got to the end, and you just got this fucking well up at the end, and you're like, "That's it."
But
but for like you got something out of it. Like for me, I was like, "Really?"
No, but for me, I felt like that it was so smooth the way it moved between. I just think that's like very unique to do it this way. And
dude, if I wanted to go on a road trip and fucking sit outside around a fire, I would. I'm sorry. It wasn't much to it.
Hashtag van life, right?
Yeah, I've done that. And I've done that once, and it was miserable. You know?
This made me miss Bonnaroo. I'll say that.
It didn't. It made me realize I'm old. And I'm ready. I'm ready for the cushy life.
You don't want to do that anymore?
Yeah,
I want to go sleep on the ground. I want these like Midwestern horizons that are so far away. The clouds are just flat across the sky, and magic hour can just be seen.
Dude, you better
everywhere.
get it together. Then you're gonna end up in a movie like this 30 years from now, talking about some bullshit that you regret. You know,
I loved the Linda May was so wonderful. They were all so like sweet, like Linda May and Swanky. I loved her story. I loved how she didn't actually die, which I was like, oh man, did she really die or not? I didn't know, but I loved her story and the way she described the kayaking and stuff. And I thought it was really moving that they, even though it wasn't a real funeral, that they throw the rocks in the fire. I don't know. It was just,
down the road.
And again, and I can see how if it didn't work, it seems very strange, but that it worked for me, I think is just hugely impressive.
I think it depends on where you're at in life and how you think about your own life.
It worked for me, and therefore I am impressed. That is
Yeah,
my
yeah,
review.
well, that's
what
what it
else
is.
can you say?
That's what it didn't work for me. And I'm like, this is fucking, into the wild.
Didn't
did
work
this
for me.
better.
Thoroughly unimpressed. That's my review.
That's
That's how
exactly
I
right.
don't know.
What's wrong with
What
that?
have we been doing here these past 200 and some odd episodes? Is that it?
The same fucking thing.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what we mean. You mean? Wait a
I
minute.
thought it was
are
good,
these,
therefore good.
are these just their opinions? Are these opinions?
Yeah.
Are we talking about opinions?
Oh, we have been this
Has it
entire
been
time.
opinions this whole time?
Shit, if I had known that.
I like this thing and it's good. That's the
I
end of
like
it.
chocolate ice cream. What are you vanilla or chocolate ice cream?
I need Eddie Vedder. That's what
Yeah,
it
maybe.
is. Yeah.
I just don't know of a film that did this. I don't know. Of
There's
a film
another
that,
one,
that
John.
did this
There's-
with this. Is
It's
there?
called The Rider. It's what
it's
Chloe
by the
Zhao
same
did right
director,
before
right?
this. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then what's that one about?
So that one's about a cowboy or
Oh, okay.
what do you call it? A rodeo
That was
rider
gonna be-
who
that was
falls
gonna
off
be
his
my
horse
next
and has
guess.
brain damage, and he can no longer be a rider because of like if he falls again, then he might die or like permanently injure himself.
Damn.
And
Ugh.
and that one, so I like this one better. Maybe this one's different because this one, like that ending scene is the best thing in either of the movies. But both movies have real characters. That movie has the leg up because the main character is a real character. They're Sioux Native Americans, the entire cast and crew.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And they actually have a mentally disabled person who's the actual sister of the guy in the movie. So there's like, it just
Wow.
seems more realistic than this. Like Francis McDormand really just seemed like an actress or an actor
Right.
in this movie,
Yeah. I think
but
that's,
not in a
that
bad way. I was
seems
still
fair.
totally like, I followed it all the way, you know?
No, I know. That's what I mean. Like, that's what I'm trying to somehow say is that I'm just impressed it all worked for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just impressed because of the combination of stuff. Because you're right, she did seem like an actress and like a goddamn good one, right?
Yeah.
But the contrast of that with the real people should have been jarring and annoying, and it wasn't for me, and that's what I'm impressed by.
It definitely was
Okay, I
not
see
jarring and
that.
annoying.
I
Yeah.
can see that. I mean, I'll agree that it wasn't jarring and annoying. I just don't think the movie went anywhere,
Well, yeah,
you know? I mean, I liked some of the conversations, but
It's
other
all
ones, like,
about-
we're like, yeah,
it's
okay,
all
you can't,
about-
you
it's
guys can't
about the
fucking fix a flat
journey.
tire.
It's
You
about
can't
the
fix a flat
journey.
tire. What the fuck's the matter with you people?
If you never fixed one, it's quite hard to know how to do it.
yeah, that's fair.
Remember the
Not
first
really.
time you fixed
get
one?
the jack out. Yeah, you figured it out. It's
She
not
didn't
too
have a
difficult.
spare.
I'm sorry.
I
Yeah.
think she didn't have a spare. Also,
Well,
that
that's
was
her
the
first
problem.
fucking mistake. Who goes on a road trip to the middle of nowhere and doesn't have a spare tire? I mean, sorry. These are the things I was thinking the whole time. You know what I mean? Like that's where my head was. I wasn't in the movie at all. I was fucking picking it apart because it wasn't working for me.
Yeah.
Well, here you are moving from one apartment to another.
Dude,
don't
I
know if
moved
that's
myself
like,
out here years ago too. I just got in the car and went. Like, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
have these problems. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But you got
Like,
steady
I left-
employment.
no, barely. I moved out here with $500 in my bank account. I don't give a shit.
You almost landed yourself in the middle of the desert with all these folks, TC.
Yeah,
You could
right,
have if
right.
you- if
I
you'd
didn't
have
go through a
broken
great
down or-
recession, but you know, I
or
don't need to be
gotten
smoking
sick.
butts in a fucking desert, looking for
Yeah.
trading fucking sandwiches for beers, for Coors Light's mountains. Jeez.
Yeah, there were a couple times. I agree with you, TC. I definitely felt a disconnect to wanting this type of life. And it felt like the movie almost went to the zone of like, corporate America is bad. Like it almost went there. And you could kind of, it went there enough where I thought that that's where it was going to go, like maybe 2 or 3 times in the movie, especially the Amazon thing. I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. Anti-corporate
But
America.
then they showed the construction, and she got a job doing that shit.
Right.
And like, I see how it went. You know, I was
I didn't know
understanding
like
that.
that Amazon could show that they showed what they did. Because Amazon's kind of protective about showing those warehouses.
I was
and things.
surprised.
I'm
I was
kind of
surprised by
surprised that we even saw that at all. I mean, you can't you're not supposed to take photographs like in those warehouses and things like that. I think
Are you
that
not?
Yeah,
was,
but
like-
that's
yeah.
probably for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
It's
They
different
probably
when you
cleaned
have
it up. They gave
controlled-
everybody a mask
you
or
have
whatever.
controlled circumstance.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Yeah.
No, and they didn't. Again, they didn't go there. You think they could at any point they could have tipped over into that? And
It
they
wasn't
just
about
didn't.
Amazon. It was about the location she happened to be in and what the work was in the area.
Right.
No, and also Amazon looked
You know.
kind of good considering like that was the place she went to get the most money throughout the year for like temporary workers. It was
that
the
was
best
her
place
work.
to go.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So it's not like
That
she
was kind of
getting-
good, you know?
Kind of.
Again, it wasn't about Amazon.
No, it
Right,
wasn't.
you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
and the book goes into more detail. It's pretty rough freaking work. I mean, it's tough.
Oh, brutal.
Did you read the book,
yeah.
John?
Did you read the book?
I read 30% of the book.
Nice.
Hey, that's good enough.
Did you read 30% of the book front to back, as in skimming? Read one page out every three, or did you read the first?
I just
front?
read the first 30%.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I didn't do the skimming, which there was just everybody was sick. It's a crazy, chaotic couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So, yeah.
thanks for reading it. Yeah, I was hoping you would. 'Cause
I tried, but yeah, I have some notes on it. We have a brief book corner, but it
Nice.
won't be a thorough one.
Nice.
it's all right.
So another thing, just saying positive, another thing I did like about it, going off that Amazon thing, is there were times where not only for the anti-corporate America thoughts I was having and where I thought the movie was going to go, but I also thought they were going to try to glorify this lifestyle to a point to be
Right.
like, oh, it's not that bad. But then,
Right. Oh,
but then you're like,
yeah.
wait a minute. Yeah, it is for like
Yeah,
a lot
it
of
is.
people. You know?
Fucking life sucks.
This is what
sorry.
I'm saying. Like this film somehow balances all the way through with these things, which I again was impressed. Where you see them, they could have gone in either of these directions that would have been very sentimental and played up to emotions.
Yeah.
And instead, it feels very, I don't know what the word is, just very subtle, very like.
It's the
not-
reason TC doesn't like it. It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It just shows
Right,
you
right,
a situation and then doesn't move
right.
from
Right.
one place to
Where's
another.
Like I
the
said,
blood?
if I
Where's
wanted to go on a road
where's
trip,
the
I
like,
would.
accident where somebody loses their hand and there's blood? We need to
Yeah.
see something. Some
Crazy
action.
old lady shits in a bucket and, doesn't want friends.
Right.
That's
So
it.
TC
That's the movie.
That scene was so
Right.
unnecessary. So
No, it was.
unnecessary.
But,
Yeah,
but,
right.
but again, for TC, it's the highlight because that's the most action that happened.
Yeah, it's all
Diving in a
TC wants to
bucket.
talk
most
about.
story,
Jesus.
The most story in the movie was her having a shit. All right.
That's the highlight right there because that was
Yeah.
the most action thing was
Yeah.
poop in a bucket.
Don't bother me. I'm shitting in a bucket. That was about
Yeah.
as far as I could get.
Yeah, that's about as
Then all of a
intense as
sudden I
the
was like,
action
all right,
got.
this one's wrapped up for me.
Yep.
There's no Eddie Vedder. She's shitting in a bucket, and we're outside in front of a fire. I don't need to watch this.
That's
Yeah.
10 words. I
Okay.
think that's 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more like 50
a-
words for the
yeah.
same fucking thing.
Poop bucket would be a great Pearl Jam
Yeah.
B-side,
Poop
though.
bucket. There you go. Glad you guys liked it. I didn't dislike it. I just didn't.
That's true. I'm impressed you didn't hate it. Actually.
No, I didn't hate it. I just thought I'd seen it before,
You
and
should
it wasn't that much
dwell
to it.
upon how you didn't hate it, which is kind of impressive.
I was
Yeah,
kind of also another thing I was expecting with this type of movie, and this could just be feeding into the narrative that the West Coast is the shittiest and the middle of the country is full of nice people. But everybody they showed in the movie treated her very kindly. Even when they wanted to kick her out, they were very nice to her. People helped her out all of the time. And I don't know if that's people's experience. I guess it might be. They might
I
have
don't
just.
think so.
I think that I don't know though. I think it'd be a mixed bag at the very least.
It depends, I guess. It depends.
The times that I've been on the road and different and traveling, because we moved a lot, I always was surprised at how friendly people were. I was
well,
always
when you're
surprised
stuck in a
that-
jam, people will.
and
you
maybe
know.
that's because we're a bunch of white upper middle class people.
I swear, we're
too.
not going to rape you.
Right,
That type of
right.
shit.
So I don't know. I may have a lot of luck there, just as far as
She's an
the
older white woman
presentation.
by herself, so maybe people are like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gotta be-
yeah,
gotta be
hey,
kind
you
to
should
them.
be careful out
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Right.
So maybe that might be part of it, but yeah, people can be really so even down going around in Texas and things like that when we've been down in there, and people are really nice. Now I don't know, their political views may really turn your stomach, and maybe if you're the wrong color, you're fucked. But
That's
I don't know.
probably true.
Yeah.
If you got a mask on.
what do you think would
fuck
happen if you were trying to
Yeah.
park in a gas station in Boston in the middle of winter? Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck
dude, it would be
out of
like,
here!
get the fuck out of here. Who the
You
fuck
see
are
the
you
sign?
sitting in
No
my car?
parking! Get the fuck out of here!
I've told you guys, Mike,
That's
my
right.
first Boston experience that I always will remember. The very first time I was in Boston, and we were there for a conference, and I just had walked in the store, and it was like at some convenience store, and somebody was back there looking at magazines, and the guy behind the counter was like, "What are you doing back there? What are you doing back? You gonna buy something?
That's
Are
right.
you gonna
Go buy something.
What are
Get
you
the
doing?"
fuck out, huh? That. Kind
I'd
of
never
shit.
been in a room where somebody had talked like that in my life.
Yeah.
And I was so shocked. I was like, what is this?
Giving somebody
Welcome
the
to
what
Boston,
for.
asshole.
Right.
You can't do that anywhere else in the country anymore.
I've,
No.
I've
You
never,
get,
I'd never experienced anything like that tone of
can't
voice.
tell
I
people
miss
what it's
Boston.
like.
Oh, it's
I do too.
such a great city.
You can tell someone you're gonna fuck off, and they're like, "Yeah, I love you too."
Yeah.
It's not even like the guy was really mad at him, actually, but the tone and the man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's called how it should be. I miss it too.
Yeah, I know. That's every time. That's the first thought when I have a Boston. I hear somebody screeching, "What are you doing back there?"
Oh yeah, you're not parking in the lot in
Yeah,
Boston.
right?
No way.
Yeah.
They're fucking moving you right along,
Yep.
sweeping the undesirables away. Fuck out of here.
What else you got? Anybody? I'm just going through my notes here.
That's it. I got some notes on the book, and that's all I got. There's very little available about the film. So in terms
Because
of
they just drove
general-
around.
Yeah, poop in a bucket.
Pooping in a bucket, driving around, big wide shot. Close up to your face, wide shot. Close up to your face, wide shot.
I thought the scene with Swanky that was touching. The scene
Oh,
where
yeah.
What, the one where she's like talking about getting sick?
yeah,
Yeah,
that was pretty
Yeah.
good. I thought the scene
Yeah.
where Francis McDormand like sat on the stairs and listened to the father son play the piano together. I thought that was really nice.
That was
it
sad,
was all
kinda.
Yeah.
freaking moving. Come on,
It was moving. I thought it
Yeah.
was moving as shit.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, I'll give you that. Those moments were
not
yeah,
as
those
moving as the shit. That's the bucket.
Right.
You know.
Right. You know.
It's not John's usual job in the podcast to keep bringing it back to the shit bucket talk.
Shit
Well,
bucket.
I don't know. It's like trying to anchor it around something. That's all we
Yeah,
got.
oh, we're anchoring it. All right, yeah.
I want somebody to go through and just make a compilation of Magic Hour scenery establishing shots.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait, we saw that. That's the movie.
That's the movie.
Yeah.
Come on, it looked great, dude. It looked fucking
Yeah,
great.
but you can put. I think the free thing that comes with the Roku has about the same fucking amount of scenery.
Can't necessarily. Oh, I was gonna. Oh yeah, I can't disagree with that, TC. I was. Gonna look this up.
I do have to say that I think maybe, like John said too, this in the theater, this would have been even maybe, I don't know. Okay, it wouldn't have been better for sure, but it would have been better ish than my
scenery,
TV.
the scenery
you know?
would have been impressive, I think.
Right, because you would have actually felt maybe like you were there. Right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if you're just watching it on TV, a smaller one, it's like, it doesn't really do it justice. So I don't know. Because I mean, the whole idea was supposed to be like you're enveloped with her in this journey, but I just didn't. It just didn't do it for me. For some
Yeah,
reason.
and you're right. If it didn't happen, but I felt like they kind of did that. Like I felt like we were sort of quietly along with her for it, and the film moved kind of slowly that way. But
I didn't really feel like I was going with her either, John, even though I enjoyed
Yeah.
the story. And I think it was because it seemed that way. I think in the beginning I was with it because it was a movie. And then the real
Yeah.
people came in and I was like, oh, those are real people. So this is like a documentary. And then she would do stuff like, oh, this is the movie again.
Right,
And it would like go back
So
and forth. It's like,
you
well,
felt
I'm
the
not with
shift.
her. This is all fake what she's doing. These people are living in the shit. And she's like
Yeah.
visiting them as an actress.
on a weekend.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, I get it. Yeah.
Going back to her fucking Hollywood Hills home with the
Oh, TC went
heated
like
floors
this. She
and,
lived
you
with them
know.
for 4 months. So,
Ah,
yeah.
good.
So there you go.
That's cool. In what, a trailer nearby?
And she had a van. Yeah, just a van.
Just the van.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Everybody did it. They all just got like, vans. I don't know how nice they were. Probably fairly nice, but just like a van and all the other vans you see from everybody else. And it was under 30 cast and crew. And they all lived this lifestyle for 4 months.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And that probably, absolutely helped the realism of those scenes interacting
Right.
with those people because she lived with those people for a while.
Ah, so day one, get up,
Yeah.
shoot stuff. Day two, what's day two? Same thing as yesterday.
Yeah.
What's day three?
Sit around.
All right.
Same thing as yesterday. Does she have any lines? Nah. You just gotta follow her.
What's the forecast for Magic Hour? It's good, dude. Nice. Capture it. Capture it.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I'm really marginalizing the fuck out of this one.
No,
It's okay, it's okay.
just
It's
because
fine.
we're talking kind of in a sarcastic manner doesn't mean it wasn't quality and that also didn't happen,
Yeah, right.
Wall drug. You ever heard of wall drug?
No,
No.
but it's a thing.
I'm looking it up
I've
right
seen
now.
bumper stickers.
It's
What
a
is it?
76,000 square foot store that it's the homepage says homemade donuts, but it's been in South Dakota since 1931. It's freaking huge. Look up pictures of it. There's like the main picture of it has probably 200 motorcycles parked outside of it. It's a super long, kind of a strip mall looking building.
Wow,
and it's
yeah.
like a tourist attraction. And they have food
Yeah.
and like trinkets and shit. Kind of a
That's
strange
huge.
place. But it looks kind of fun.
Wow.
A pharmacy museum?
It's a
All right.
pharmacy museum?
Well, that's one of the many
This
things
is an
they have.
ibuprofen.
Or wait,
This is a
maybe
Tylenol.
maybe that should be Pharmacy Comma Museum,
Yeah.
but they're just like it says Pharmacy Museum and Traveler's Chapel. So maybe there's like a pharmacy and also a museum.
It attracts 2 million visitors each year.
I think it's a pharmacy museum because originally it was a drugstore. So maybe a long, long time ago. So maybe that's kind of the point.
Oh, the name of the town it's in is called Wall. That makes sense. I thought it was just drugs you put on your wall. This is a floor drug. This is a wall drug.
This is an ibuprofen.
Yeah.
This is a Tylenol. Yeah, this is an antacid.
See there, John? Aren't you glad I brought that up? That's 3 minutes of content right there, at least.
Quality.
I knew this one was going to be short on content.
Quality bit.
Hey,
It's tough with the new ones and especially tough with the non-narrative ones because it's
it's all right.
Because there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, can't really dive in. You can't have my part of just like, do you guys think that this would really happen?
Yeah. No, you can do that
no
on this one.
mysteries
Actually.
or questions to try to answer about the plot here. This was,
yeah. Like I said.
How about this one? Where do you think she goes afterwards? At the end of the movie?
I don't know, to fucking
she just
fall
keeps
off
going
the face of the earth. Who cares?
to the next job.
On to the next one. She's not going back to the little encampment
No.
area?
Go bitch and moan with someone else. I don't fucking know.
She doesn't complain.
No, she doesn't say anything. Just sits there.
You see how TC just like takes your criticism and rolls with the insult to something else? Real
it's like a asshole jujitsu.
It's so easy. It's so easy. Yeah, you're just laying them up
Asshole
for me.
jujitsu.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So I think, John, it's time for Johnny's Tiny Book Corner. It's tiny this week.
Johnny's Tiny Book Corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I need to go to the beginning here because I really like. There was a Leonard Cohen quote at the beginning of the book that I actually really liked.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Maybe Leonard Cohen should have freaking scored the movie. Would you have liked it then, TC?
It might have worked.
Not as good as man Eddie there.
Yeah.
You know.
So this is Leonard Cohen is. This is from one of his later songs called Anthem. But the quote at the beginning of the book is, "There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in." So I thought that was cool. Just nice little quote.
Oh, the crack is the recession? Is that what it is?
It's just the flaws.
Denny trying to figure out how it relates?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's just that there's good things about all the bad things that are happening that you can see some good things. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it too much.
Don't tear it apart.
Because the more I talk, the more I feel like I'm totally wrong.
You sit there and ask Leonard those questions. He'd be like, shut up. Shut up.
I said it with a low voice. It sounded good.
Fucking poetry. Shut up.
Yeah, shut up.
So this is this is a book. This whole movie was written by a book called Nomad Land itself by Jessica. What's her name? Jessica
Bowder?
Yep. And so then the book is really the movie
Bruder.
really follows
Sorry,
the book.
Bruder.
The movie really follows these characters from the book. So it's actually you're reading the book and you're not surprised by a lot of this stuff anyway. It's these characters are really described pretty well. And so all of these different characters that we meet in the movie, the main ones are all also in the book, other than the two actor leads.
Yeah, Francis McDormand said when she went to go film the movie and met these people for the first time, she felt like she already knew them and felt kind of like weird and in awe of them because, they didn't know who she was because they're nomads. They're not following the movie industry. But yeah, that's kind of weird to be like, you're not famous, but I know you, and we're going to make a movie together.
So couple of interesting things. There's also the book spins into different interesting things. One is that the idea of retirement is relatively new. It was one of Otto von Bismarck, who is the leader of Germany, World War I-ish, was one of the first people who created this kind of old age insurance where people in their 70s got pensions. And one of the reasons is that they needed to get people out of the workforce, the older people, so that the younger people could have the jobs. Even in America, it was early 20th century, there was no retirement. It's either you grew too old to work and then you just had to go live with your kids, and that was it. And it was the Great Depression that made retirement a reality in the United States. There were too many workers and too few jobs. So it was a sense the elderly needed to be nudged out of the labor pool. And at the same time, older Americans weren't faring so well. So it was around in 1935. That's when retirement started to become a thing. So it was only relatively recently.
So
in America
did it
that
mention whether or not the older people wanted the retirement to happen, or was this kind of against their will?
It may or may not have been. I mean, they weren't retiring. People weren't quitting their jobs. But also the reason they weren't quitting is they didn't have savings. So they had to keep working because they had to keep making money. But also and you see this in the movie too, there's a lot of people that want to work. They want to feel useful. They want to have, they don't want to just sit at home and do nothing. And so to some extent, there's a sense of wanting to feel useful and be productive, and that, so there's that piece of it as well. And 401ks are sort of a new thing. It used to be that everything was pensions, meaning like you work and you retire and you just get pensions. You just get paid. And that's going the way of the dodo.
That's really too bad.
Yeah. I know.
To have a pension would be fucking awesome.
Yeah. Mayo Clinic has pensions if you're here for 10 years plus.
That's it? 10 years?
Yeah.
Moving next to you, John.
Actually, you get pensions. I think even it gets substantial at that point. But even like working in a couple of years, I think you get some money as a pension.
Wow.
But it moved it over to 401k plans, which rely on employee contributions. They can run dry before death, but they're they're far less expensive for the employers. So that's kind of, again, so a lot of the book goes into this kind of different history stuff, which is sort of interesting too, about like, you had the people, there was a lot of nomads during the Depression, but these were people who were waiting for things to get better and still holding on to this idea that they were going to get a job and get a house and have that whole, be able to have the American dream. And the book sort of talks about what's different about these people living this lifestyle is they're not waiting for that anymore. They're like, nah, this is it. We're not saving up to get a house. This is where it is. Things aren't going to get better, quote unquote. This is what the goal is right now. We're not going to go get a house or something like that. Although even like the Liz character wants to have the off the grid house, which apparently she actually went and built after the film as well. So that's,
you keep saying Liz. I think you mean Linda.
Is it Liz? Linda.
Yeah,
I do mean
Linda
Linda.
May.
You're right. Yeah. So I think that was just really interesting that the idea of retirement was new.
So CC, I think this is where I agree with you and Johnny, you too, because we're all in the machine here. It's like I don't believe in that. Like I'm churning for money, so because I want to chill when I'm older. Like that's what I'm doing, and that's the way this country is like built, kind of.
The three of us have skilled positions.
Yeah,
I mean, we're
True.
Increasingly rare, I think. In terms of like we make pretty good money. We've got degrees, we've got technical skills.
We're lucky in comparison to most.
For sure.
Right. So you're right, and I'm doing that right now. Right, that's what we're doing. We're working, and we're both like working towards we're lucky enough to work towards a pension where we work now, which is awesome. But we're saving up money, putting aside money for the kids, have a house that we've invested in, all of that. Right, we're doing that all that stuff. But we are a dual income family that again, both of us have PhDs. We're both doing well. I can't imagine what it's like, if you don't have those skill sets and the rug gets taken out from under you. Like the gypsum, this whole town around the gypsum mine that just shuts down because they close.
Well, it certainly wouldn't be going to live out in a fucking desert. I mean, I'm sorry. I still don't get it. I would still be trying to work my ass off, double jobs, saving up, trying to do I would still be striving towards the same thing like I was prior to all the good shit that's coming my way. I don't know.
Right.
I think it's just like your mindset is either baked for that or it's not. And she clearly spent 60 years not doing what she wanted to do, and that's not everybody.
Well, she was corporate though, but then her husband died, right? Like, and that kind of threw her.
Well, she was her character was like they were in the town that the gypsum mine. I forget what it was called, but they had this whole town it was basically a company town. Company gave you your house, gave you everything. The whole town was run by the company that was the mine. And then when the mine shut down, it's all gone. You no longer have a house. You no longer.
So
it's all
again,
just
I can't
gone.
relate.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why it probably didn't hit me.
Yeah.
There's probably a ton of people out there that could totally relate with that with the pandemic, right? Which is probably why it's
for
doing
sure.
so well.
That's part of That's one of the reasons it's doing really well right now. And the other one is there's so many freaking vistas, dude. We're all stuck inside. You get to travel around the country, look at all those magic hour horizon shots, TC.
Yeah.
Yeah, with your eyes instead of the TV. Right, I get it.
Yep.
Yeah, I do.
Yep, so that's all I got from 30% of the book.
Yeah, right. I was going to say, it's a lot, John. You have a great reading comprehension there.
So that seemed like a lot of like history kind of, and not so much about the people doing the nomadic traveling.
They don't do anything. I'm sorry.
It's described in the book, but honestly, too, the movie does a great job. There's like it's like I'm reading that part from what I'm reading so far. It's really well depicted in the movie, so I don't really need to go over it again. There's more descriptions of Amazon and how Amazon gets tax cuts because they employ these workers. It's like great for Amazon. Like they're making bank off of these people. Then they get tax credit for it. And there's like some stories too where like like there's one person got hurt and the Amazon sent a representative to go and make sure they're okay. And they were like all impressed. Like their employer never like cared for them in the sense that they never would like go and look in on them if something happened. So some of these people are kind of impressed with Amazon. Amazon is nothing. They're making bank. They can like actually, it's easily afford to go, hey, go check on them. So it's that stuff is more interesting. I imagine there's more details in the book about sort of that kind of labor force and how to a great extent people are being taken advantage of. And another piece of it is even if they know it, they're like, this is all we got. And at least we feel useful and it gives us money to get by.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Huh. Are you going to finish reading it? How does it read?
It's depressing to read too. I mean,
yeah.
it's also, I think that might be another reason why it wasn't easy to run through even on a skimming way. It's like, it's scary too. I think as much as, you have enough catastrophe happen to you and you could lose everything. You get enough medical shit going on, especially nowadays, right? You could lose a lot of stuff. Or you get somebody dies with a medical condition, and even if you've got a good job, you could go underwater pretty easily.
Yeah.
And that's also, I think my wife and I are about as safe as can be, and it's still scary to think about that. I think with two young kids to think about. So I think that you're right. It's not. I'm not motivated to read more.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I got a little bit of trivia too. Did you mention that Jessica Bruder was like living with these people for like 4 years?
I don't know if I mentioned it, but that was like the book. Like that was part of her. She's a journalist. She was just like doing this kind of like Hunter Thompson style, hang out with them and write.
Yeah. She did that for 4 years. Francis McDormand read the book and went to Fox Searchlight and kind of optioned the book to make a movie out of it. Francis McDormand and what's his name? Peter Spears was the other guy, who were kind of the producers on this movie. Francis McDormand watched The Rider. TC, I'm not sure I'd recommend. I was going to recommend it to both of you because I assume both of you would like it. It's similar where like that one has kind of more happens. Well, I don't know. She gets over she sees her family's house in this movie and like moves on sort of. So that's as much that happens in The Rider.
Okay, if poop in a bucket is like a 5, where's The Rider then? You gotta.
It's like a
2.
I'd say this one in terms of plot is like a 3, which is not
man.
necessarily a bad thing. It just means it's not plot heavy at all. The Rider is maybe a 4 or a 3.
Okay.
In terms of plot,
right.
But it's
That's a negative.
John, if I were you, I'd watch it. It's really similar to this movie, and it's really good. But Francis McDormand saw that and contacted Chloe Zhao and gave her the book. Chloe Zhao, in making these movies with real people, also considered herself somewhat of a nomad. She lived out of her car for a bunch of it, and she has a knack for working with real people, so it was kind of a perfect fit because she had real actors in her other movies. So she agreed to it immediately because this type of thing is like right in your wheelhouse. And that is basically how they got started, filmed, living in these encampments for 4 months. They became friends with all these people. Some of the people, I think it was Swanky, said like the cast and crew were the best family she's ever had outside of the people from the communities themselves. They were part of the community for that period of time, which is nice.
Yeah, there was money funneling through. I'm such a cynic.
Yeah, you are. They're buddies, man. They had a good time together.
This is the best family I ever had.
Yeah.
They got new fucking tires. They got new fucking buckets. They got all sorts of shit. Yeah, it's great.
Probably a factor.
Shit.
I don't know. Probably. Small factor, I hope, but maybe. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
First aid kit, the
If
whole
you look
thing.
at the interviews and stuff, you get to see like Swanky and Linda and McDormand at these film festivals together. I don't know. It's sweet.
Yeah. So like John said, Linda May. So Linda May was the first person to be interviewed in 2014 in like a magazine article. And then that became the book or like a motivation for the book. She had always talked about wanting to settle down, and she did like right after this movie. I guess because they got a cut. I mean, right? They didn't talk about like what kind of money they're getting for this. Yeah,
I don't know. I assume so.
I would
they're
assume
like,
so. Because they're taking
they got
like
paid something.
they could be like traveling or working to get food, and now they're just acting instead or something. I don't know. This is a weird one.
They're definitely getting paid. There's no doubt. Yeah.
So she moved into a house as she's always wanted, but Bob and Swanky are going to stay out on the road forever because that's what they want to do. So they probably have more money, but they're going to keep doing what they're doing. Bruder, the writer of the book, helped Chloe Zhao write the screenplay, even though Chloe got the screenwriter credit. She gave her a bunch of contacts to people that don't end up in the movie and then also didn't end up in the book. She has all these contacts of all these nomads, and Chloe Zhao like went around and talked to every single one of them and kind of picked the ones that she jived with the most and thought would be the best in the movie. So that's how that's Swanky
cool.
Bob and can't remember her name now either. Liz, that's what John would call her.
Linda.
Linda May.
Linda May, yeah. Yeah, so Swanky doesn't die. She also doesn't have cancer, but she said her husband died of brain cancer. So she would say that 99%.
Close enough. No.
Close enough, yeah. So she has like enough experience to bring that into her performance there.
I thought I was worried that she actually had died. I didn't know. I wanted to look it up right afterwards.
You didn't like that line about see you on down the road there? That's nice. That's a nice sentiment.
It was sweet.
No, I did. I did.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. You didn't like it, TC. You liked it. You're just being negative.
You
liked it.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I liked that one little part. I mean, I thought it seemed very real.
Yeah. You like the poop bucket sizing part. You like that part. You like the piano part. You like the end where Santa Claus makes you cry.
You're talking
You
about
liked a lot of
4 parts after over an hour and some change, dude.
That's pretty good. 4 good parts of the movie. I'll take that. That's not bad.
Really? Come
Yeah.
on, bullshit. That's not true.
So Bob has a YouTube page. It's called Cheap RV Living. He has 400,000 subscribers. He tells you where to buy cheap heaters, how to change tires, just like general, trying to get people accustomed to the lifestyle. From his point of view, this type of lifestyle is only going to increase in popularity, by force somewhat.
Or by necessity.
By necessity,
right? Oh, right.
yeah. What are the others? But, I mean, this movie's probably going to have a couple people look at it and be like, I want to do that. That looks fun.
Yeah, then they're going to get up there and go, yeah, you know what? Never mind.
Well, yeah, I mean, even Francis McDormand, they asked her in an interview, like, hey, would you like actually do this? And she's like, I'll call myself a dabbler. She's just like, no, like I would,
no,
I did it for 4 months and it was hard. So no.
Yeah,
I think the film does a decent job of not romanticizing it, showing a
couple parts kind of did, but again, it was just like little instances. And these people don't just live fully miserable lives. Like they probably have little moments of that too. So in the end,
they collect rocks and try and sell them. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's rough.
No thanks. That would be a miserable. I'd be homeless. You're homeless. I'm sorry. You're homeless. You might as well just call it what it is. You're homeless. And I never want to be homeless.
It's better than sleeping on the street in a city. I'd rather do that than sleep on the street in a city.
Oh my God. I mean, that's LA homeless and SF homeless. That's a whole different kind of homeless.
Yeah.
But like not having any place to go. Just like
you can go anywhere, dude. You're on fucking wheels.
In your van? No fucking way. Not a chance. Not a chance. I like my bougie lifestyle that I've created for myself.
You spoiled little brat.
Oh yeah, every year I go, and every year I try to work harder and make more money. The less fucking like I can go like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I get further and further away by the fucking minute.
Yeah.
And I was there. I was making $15 an hour once, having nothing. And that's not the case anymore. I guess I'm lucky, but still choosing that life.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Not a chance in hell.
Hope you're getting your putting money into your 401k there, TC. Because when you hit 7,
I'm at fucking 12% right now. Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And I save another 12% easy on top of that. So yeah, I'm on my way.
Nice.
Be a millionaire at some point. Or I'm just gonna fuck it up and it's all gonna go away. But I doubt that. I'm making better decisions these days. But that's the thing. It could go either way. So like, why don't you try and save? The whole nomad thing, you're wasting so much time. Some of these kids that are younger doing it, like I could see it at 60 because you're like, fuck, how much time do I have left? But like when you see some of those scenes and the kids are younger and you're like, what are you fucking doing? You're going to waste all these years that you could be doing.
I felt the same way. I felt the. I mean,
you're going to fucking end up doing nothing.
It's not supposed to be a young person's game. It's like,
no,
I felt pretty okay with most of the older people there because they seemed to, some of them wanted it, it was like an escape for some of it. But then like even Francis McDormand's character, Fern, in the movie went up to that kid and was like, hey dude, where are your parents?
Like your parents aren't worried about you, bro.
Yeah. You can't do this your entire life. You have an entire life ahead of you.
Right. No, you should. Right. Yeah. Like I understand the point is like you should choose to have this lifestyle, but like nobody really does. I'm sorry. You end up there and that's the point of the movie, but I don't want to watch that shit.
Yeah.
Like fuck, dude. You ain't gonna watch the corporate guy go to work and sit at a desk. I don't want to watch the fucking nomads go around and sit in front of a campfire.
No one will ever make a movie about a corporate guy. Oh, it's called American Psycho, actually. That's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah.
Office Space, but it was funny.
Do you like the
Right.
colors of my business card?
Yeah.
This is a great movie.
Anyways,
What else we got? So there's a thing that's popular on social media called hashtag van life, where a bunch of
Mhm.
well-off young people go live in vans for fun. And they have swanky
Sure.
vans and they have a backdrop and all this stuff. The writer of the book and a lot of the real nomads are kind of angry at that movement because it glorifies the whole thing. And
Right,
also
right.
they go and disrupt their lifestyle. Like sometimes they go to the same places and they're going and like partying, and all these other people are fucking like starving and shitting in buckets and stuff like that. So if you're part of the hashtag van life, go find your own fucking place to drive.
Right. Just go. There's a Pulp song called Common People.
Wow.
Just listen to that over and over like 100 times and see if the message gets through to you.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great song.
It is a great song. Yeah.
Chloe Zhao purposely kept the politics out of the movie. She wanted the human story, as was obvious to all of us, I think.
Yeah.
That works.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think that it's an easy way to go the other direction.
Yeah. And the last thing I have, and first I want to give credit to the articles I got all this trivia from, because this is a brand new movie and there's no commentary or anything. There's an LA Times article called Review: Francis McDormand is at her finest in Nomadland, a sublime ode to the American wanderlust. And then there is a Time.com magazine called What to Know About the Nomad Land and the Real Life Community Behind the Movie. They're both pretty good articles. The last piece of trivia, this was kind of sad. TC, is Telluride near you?
Is what
Telluride?
the hell is that?
I don't know.
So
It's
no.
a place. There's a thing called the Telluride Film Festival, and it's near.
Oh, I don't know.
It's near LA, I guess. Is what it
Yeah.
said.
You'd have to like movies to go to those things.
Yeah. Telluride Film
It
Festival.
probably is here. It seems.
Tell
like
you
it would
right.
be.
It's where is it?
Wait. Is that here?
It's up by him.
It's in Berkeley.
Oh, that's great.
That's great.
great.
I
Wait,
just
wait. No. Telluride, Colorado.
no Telluride
Oh.
Film Festival is what it's
The
called.
Telluride Film Festival is a film festival held annually in Telluride, Colorado during Labor Day weekends. From Wikipedia.
Oh, Berkeley's just posers.
why am I
Yeah, what the
seeing?
hell?
Why am I seeing?
Maybe it's everywhere. Maybe it's all
Well,
over.
Maybe it's like coordinated with Telluride. I mean, some of these film festivals are doing this now, especially with COVID and stuff. That they're doing like.
Yeah, I heard there's a con in
distance-
Ohio too. Con
distance
Film
film.
Festival, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just it coincides.
Okay, so I think you're right. I think you're right.
I think he's right too.
Yeah.
Benny. I don't know why. I just have a feeling.
Yeah.
He just read you the synopsis.
Yeah, usually when,
He's
when
definitely
John's
right.
pulling information off the internet, he's more right most of the time.
I do all right. I do all right.
But anyway, so this movie premiered in September, I guess, on Labor Day weekend. That's when the film festival is there
Nice.
at a drive-in movie theater. And during this period of time, we're in a fucking pandemic. Obviously, everyone's got
Right.
N95 masks
Super
on,
spreader event.
sitting around in
Yeah.
a drive-in theater outside. Also, this is the West Coast. This is fire season. There are fucking raging wildfires going all around, and it was raining ash the entire time they were watching this movie in the drive-in
Oh
theater.
my god.
That's how this
Oof.
movie was first shown.
Damn it, during the
I don't know what to
apocalypse.
make of that.
Just this year, dude. Fucking this year.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's the fuck it mentality because it's, yeah.
It must have been a weird experience because all the nomads were there, all the cast and crew and stuff were there during the festival. They had a Q&A afterwards in the freaking ash.
God.
But it must have been so weird. Like the movie is about, the Great Recession, 2008, 2009 recession. And here we are at the
In a pandemic.
middle/end, hopefully the end, maybe the middle, maybe the beginning. Who fucking
Maybe,
knows?
yeah, I know,
And then also the
seriously.
very beginning of global warming where there's going to be yearly wildfires that destroy communities,
It's all bad.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And this movie is about the people.
Affected
by
some of
the
this,
changing world.
the economy.
Yeah.
I got to get the bread and milk. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's just relevant and scary and sad and appropriate. Yeah, I thought it was
Yep.
appropriate. But anyway,
No, it does. It is appropriate.
Yeah.
It's something else. I mean, that's probably why they were all burning the fire. Like, fuck it.
Oh, Jesus.
This
Yeah.
could be our last time.
so this movie, I think, did I already say this? So this won 2 Golden Globes. It got nominated for 2 more. It won for director and best picture. It got nominated for best actress, Francis McDormand, and best screenplay with Chloe Zhao also. So she got nominated 3 times for this movie. I mean, this movie is obviously going to be a front runner of the Oscars, I would assume, because usually that goes hand in hand. Also, it's the only movie ever to win both the Venice and Toronto Film Festival
Wow.
top
Nice.
honors.
Nice.
So, I mean, there's something to
So
be
it's
said
obviously cool to like this film.
about. It's a pandemic.
Yeah.
It's topical to the pandemic.
Oh,
and
yeah.
also, not a lot of movies came out, but that doesn't necessarily knock the quality of the movie.
No, but not only is it topical, it's subtly going after it. It's like not hammering the points either. So while it's topical, it's like still being more about, or at least as much about the story of the character. And that might help it really fly through these kinds of awards too, because it's not just the documentary, right? But yet it contains these elements, which again is sort of very interesting.
It is,
Like
yeah.
how it sort
It
of
is.
like is in this gray area.
Agreed.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would not be
agreed.
surprised if this wins Best Picture. I mean,
I'd be fine with that.
yeah.
I don't
Although
know.
I'm going to be rooting for Palm Springs. That's where I'm going to be rooting. Yeah. Palm
Oh,
Springs.
Yeah,
yes.
all right. Yeah,
We
anywhere
saw that.
but
That
where
was
those
a
people are.
decent comedy,
That was
right?
great.
It had it unfortunately had the time travel mechanic, which always pisses me off.
Oh,
to no
you
end,
suck.
didn't
That was
it?
the best. That was so good
Oh.
in that movie.
You suck.
You
I
suck.
get,
Ah,
I
you
get tired
suck.
of any time loop. Let's have a time loop. Fuck.
Mm.
I'm going to see a lot of stuff over and over again, aren't I?
I like it, John. I like it.
Oh, I
You
watched
tell
Tenet.
him.
I watched Tenet, dude.
I was
Oh, did
just
you?
going to say, it sounds like Tenet.
Tenet was awesome. I loved it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. John, you'll love
A lot
that
of
one.
deep emotional stuff there, right?
No, not really.
No,
Of course
just a bunch
not.
of backwards,
Of
forwards.
course not. That's the kind of
fucking
films he makes.
looping
It's like
and-
he makes little boy films, little intellectual boy films.
You might
This
like
one
it,
will
John.
mind fuck yeah. This one will mind fuck yeah. But it's a lot of time looping and traveling.
Yeah,
was that
that's right.
backwards or was that forwards? I don't know. It could be forward. It could be backward. Do you know what's going on? I don't know what's going on. Do you know what's going on? No idea what's going on.
Yeah,
That's
we're
the
already
movie
going to
right
watch
there.
Inception and Interstellar, so we'll have our fill.
Oof. Can we watch Tenet instead of
Woof.
Inception? I'd rather watch Tenet again than Inception.
Really? I'd rather watch Inception. than
Okay.
Tenet.
It's on the list.
Well, good, because that's the one we're going to be watching. But not next
Well,
week,
we
guys.
could do both. Maybe we should do a little,
A little
Run there.
snubbed Christopher Nolan movies all in a row towards whatever his
Hey,
top
well,
one
I
is.
did say that I'd have maybe if I watched it again and because I watched it and was talking with someone else the whole time because I couldn't figure it out and he couldn't either.
Hmm.
So like maybe if I watched it alone, I'd maybe learn more about
I
it.
think
'cause we
I think
weren't-
he
I
could
don't
be
know, you know?
easily our most overrated director.
Hitchcock.
I mean,
Well,
Yeah.
oh shit, yeah. All
no,
right.
I guess we got ourselves a little project here, boys.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I like Christopher Nolan, dude.
Yeah. Let's see if we
Dunkirk,
can convince
Insomnia,
John.
Batman Begins, The Dark Knight. Those are all really good movies.
That's Batman. I'm so tired of Batman.
Ah.
There's nothing
Tenet.
original in those.
Tenet.
Tenet. Enough of the Oscar talk. Would you guys put this one in the top 250?
No.
Yes.
I would too.
All right.
Yeah.
2 against 1.
2 against 1.
We win. Yay. So next week, we're going back to
Next
the
week.
list, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're actually going to watch Das
I was like,
Boots.
are you sure? Should
That's
we?
right. Yep.
Well, what we could do also is we could go on an
Oh,
Oscar,
here we go.
a potential Oscar movie kick and just do a bunch of episodes leading into the Oscars.
When's that happening?
It's not a bad idea.
Did they push it back,
March?
or-
Is it March or is it?
Yeah.
Is it a teleconference?
They actually haven't even
Oscars?
released the nominees yet. So
Oh.
April 25th. So
So why don't we watch Das Boot then and get it over with?
What do we know that's also like a definite contender? Is there something else?
Judas and the Black Messiah, Promising
Yeah.
Young Woman, Mirani.
I haven't heard these ones.
Yeah.
All of these sound worrisome. The Trial of the Chicago 7, that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
I thought that was a documentary. It's not.
No, written by Aaron Sorkin.
Ooh,
Sorkin.
You know, there's going to be a lot of fast talking in that movie because it's Aaron Sorkin.
That's right.
Fast talking. Yeah.
Two people walking down a corridor, talk.
Talk. You're talking too much. Am I talking too much? No, you're not. Just talking
No,
enough.
this dialogue
All
is
right,
great.
let's
Keep talking.
talk-
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So let's plan on Das Boot, and if we don't,
Das Boot.
let's plan on Das Boot, and if we don't insert something here like we did last episode, then that means that we will watch Das Boot.
Watch
next
Das Boot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Das Boot.
week. Sweet. All right, guys.
All right.
Talk to you next
See
week.
you later.
See you guys. Oh, yeah. Any thoughts there, Timmy?
Fuck you, John.
We
We were already on the way out.
Yeah,
well,
John, what are you
I know,
doing
but-
bringing us back?
Well,
Why'd you
I
bring me
guess
back?
We got
I
here
wrote
for
it
Timmy.
Oh, shit.
Sorry,
That's
man.
what it is. All right, folks. See you later.
Stop 'em.